Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Plug Talk with Fuego, hosted by yours truly, Fuego. And yeah, feels good to be back, man. Feels really good to be back. Um, today I just wanted to talk about a very interesting topic that came up in multiple conversations that I've been thinking about, that I've been really trying to understand. So basically, like in the world that we live in, a lot of responsibility falls on the man. Well, most of the responsibility falls on the man. And I know a lot of guys are probably thinking like, hey, what's this guy saying? It should be that way. It always has been that way. It always will be that way. Not in my opinion. I mean, think about it. We have evolved in every other aspect, right? So the way we think about the earth has evolved from people thinking that the earth was flat to now people thinking that the earth is round, which it is. And to all of you people that still think the earth is flat, you need to go get your head checked, bro. Um, like I'm saying, we have evolved, you know. Our way of thinking is not the same. So why can't we evolve in every other aspect? Why in every other aspect do we have to still think like cavemen? You know, because then I've noticed like women have it easy from like a very young age. Like they have it easy. That I've noticed. And to a point where to them it's like, okay, now it's cool. My boyfriend or my husband is gonna take care of me. Bro, niggas are tired. Dudes wanna spend their own money. Like every guy out here wants to spend his own money. Like for him to now be thinking like, oh, damn, I need to do this, I need to do that for my girl, to do this for my wife. It sort of creates this unhappiness in their life, you know, because I've noticed a lot of guys are unhappy in their relationships. You think they're happy, they're not happy. To them, it's like, oh, yo, this one does that, and this. And then it's like, oh, that's what you wanted, bro. That's really what you wanted. I remember I had this conversation with someone, right? And I told them, like, in every other aspect, a girl has to be independent or a girl wants to be independent. Why can't she be independent in that aspect too? Why can't she take care of herself? Why can't she, get a job, do something for herself as well? And I mean, if you want to start a family, but don't put all that pressure onto that young man's shoulders. Because personally, I'm not having that, bro. I don't want no pressure on my shoulders, bro. I want to I wish I could stay young, but I can't. I know I can't stay young forever. That I know for sure. I can't stay young forever. But if I could, that's something I definitely would do. I just stay young. But then I want to enjoy my money myself. Like, I've noticed that we have to pay for everything. Dates. If your girl wants to link, you gotta pay for your own transport. Like, bro, you wanted to link, bro. So you gotta pay for the transport yourself. You can't tell me I want to see you and then be like, oh, yeah, can you call me an Uber? Like, bro, what? So you gotta pay for your Uber to come see me, but you're the one who wanted to see me. That makes no sense to me. That makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, you call yourself independent, but you can't do the simplest of things. You need to stop playing this game. We really need to stop playing this game. We need to start being serious and start realizing that times have changed. A lot of guys are not going to do that. Like, me personally, I'm getting tired of it and I don't do that anymore. So whenever a girl wants to meet up with me, it's like, all right, bro, you'll cover your Uber fee, I'll cover my Uber fee. If we dip together, then maybe I'll pay for the Uber. Maybe. If not, then bro. Mm. Case in point, this other girl wanted to meet up, so I was like, cool. Next thing he went, I must pay for a transfer. I'm like, but you're the one that wanted to meet up, you know? So now why must I pay for your transport? That makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But that aside, also, like, even with paying for the date, like, I saw 50 Cent's interview. I think it's on is it the Jimmy Fallon show? I think so. I'm not sure. And asked him, um, who pays for the first date? And he said, whoever came up with the idea to go out on the date. For me, that was the best answer, you know? Like, if your girl is telling you, let's go out on a date, Brody, make her pay for that shit, bro. Make her pay for half of hers and you pay for like your half of the bill, you know what I'm saying? It must be 50-50, bro. Because, like, if you're gonna put all that pressure, all that stress on yourself at a young age, you're not gonna wanna do that at an old stage in your life. Like, with me, I've always said, put yourself above, above everybody else. So for me, it's like God is on top, obviously. It's God, then it's me, then it's family and friends, and then everybody else. That's just how it works for me. I'll always put myself first because I know for a fact that won't nobody give a damn about me, bro. I mean, was it last month or the month before? It was Men's Health Month, bro. Nobody said anything about it. It's like, okay, so we can talk about everything else about women, but men, it's nothing. So that's why I'm saying we really need to start thinking, is there really equality between men and women? Because someone was like, yeah, but the Bible says, but bro, in every other aspect, if I bring up the Bible, you're gonna tell me, oh, I don't bring up the Bible, whatnot. But then this you have to do it. That makes no sense to me, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion, you know. That's just my opinion. A lot of guys feel like they have to do that. They want that responsibility. They want a wife. They want kids. They want to have all of that responsibility on their shoulders. I don't want that. Honestly, I don't want that. Like, I've been saying for the longest time that marriage is like the last thing on my mind. Just sorry, shit. Yeah. Marriage is like the last thing on my mind, if I'm being real with you guys. It's really just like lost in my mind. Marriage and kids. I'm young, bro. I'm young. I'm in my 20s, bro, early 20s. Like, maybe at some point I'll change my mind, you know? Because, everything is in God's plan. If God is written for me to get married at 25, I'm gonna get married at 25. That's it. But right now, I don't want to get married. I don't want to have kids. But yeah, so you just need to now figure out yourself. Is that what I really want? Do I want to live my life that way? Do I want to do things that way? Do I have to worry about certain things and change my lifestyle to a certain extent? You know, because you really have to change your lifestyle. Like, you can't go out anymore with friends as much as frequently. You have to basically check in with someone. Like, yeah, babe, I'm going out, I'm going out with my friends. And then she's going to be like, oh, but you just went out with your friends last week, you just went with your friends 2 nights ago, whatever. And you'll find you haven't even seen your friends in such a long time. All you want to do is just see your homies. And she doesn't want that. She just wants you to be cooped up and boxed in that house. And yeah, like for me, that's a recipe for disaster. I feel like a lot of divorces and a lot of marriages end because the husband feels trapped and miserable. And mentioning trapped, I remember we also said like women's best talent is trapping dudes, Like women can really trap guys, like, yo, 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 yo. Bro, and they trap you in a way where you're not even really gonna notice, like, damn. By the time you notice you're deep in the trap, bro, you're like, fuck, I'm in the trap. Like that's why these days I don't really fall for anything. Like if I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. And if I don't want to say something, I'm not saying it. Like, I'm just tired of having to do things. I want to do things. Not that I have to do it. No, I want to do it. So let me do it because I want to do it, not because I have to do it. Because I mean, the moment I feel like I have to do something, that's when I'm like, you know, I sit back and I'm like, oh, no, you know. So that's why it's like marriage is like a huge stepping stone for me. And until I'm ready to climb that climb, I don't think I'm gonna ever have those thoughts of being a family man, anything. I don't even have those thoughts on a regular basis. Like, I'm not out there thinking like, hey, yo, I want to get married. I want to, because there hasn't been an establishment of equality between men and women. And until that line is drawn in the sand and everybody understands their roles, and it's not just me having to work my ass off for the rest of my life and drain myself and kill myself and work myself into an early grave for you while you sit on your ass and do nothing, then maybe I'll consider it. Because I know people are gonna be like, oh, but then she's gonna give you children, she's gonna take care of your children. Bro, there's people who can do that for me, bro. If I wanted kids that bad, I could have kids and then have nannies and then have, I know people are like, that's not ideal. That's just you. You think it's not ideal, bro. For me it seems ideal. But again, hey, that's just my opinion. And well, I just don't think I'll ever be ready to have that much stress and that much responsibility when, but maybe I will, you know. I think it's because I'm a product of what I've watched and listened to growing up. Because if you know me on a personal basis, you know that I love Drake. You know that I love Drake. I love Drizzy Drake Rogers. Shout out to him. Shout out to Champagne Poppy. He's my favorite artist, like, of all time. He's my favorite artist. Like, I have a lot of favorite artists, and he's my favorite. So his music really has shaped me to the man I am today. And people see me as toxic and a narcissist. I'm not none of that. I just love myself and I respect myself to a point where I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize my happiness. And you should as well, male or female. Put yourself first, love yourself. That's why I'm saying until there's a clear establishment of equality, that's when I would recommend doing or getting into that kind of life. But yeah, moving on from those type of conversations and that serious and that conversation, I know it's gonna have a lot of people boiling and a lot of people like really like, oh, this guy. But don't kill me, bro. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. We all have differences in opinions and differences in the way we look at things. But right now, I just want to do a young story time. I realize I don't really do enough story times on my podcast. Like, I don't really let y'all know about my private life that much. And I really want y'all to get to know me and to really just fall in love with this channel. So I can go back to these episodes and be like, oh yeah, I just want to go back to episodes. I can listen to that again. Because the one thing I've always said is that I prefer art over entertainment. And that's why everything for me has to be perfect. That's why everything I do has to like fit a standard and a level of what I prefer. That's why it took so long to jump onto YouTube because I wanted everything to be perfect before I jumped onto here. I just wanted me to be in the perfect headspace, the perfect mentality, and perfect, like not really perfect, but like a good place in my life. And right now, I'm in a very good place in my life. I'm happy. I'm really happy. So yeah, let's get into the story time. Mm. I don't have a joint on me. You know, I don't have a joint or anything like that. So I've got this. I've got a young vape with me. And flavor is, I think, cherry or berry watermelon if you want to know what flavor I'm smoking. But yeah, this story is about the first time I played. The first time I played, like the first time. And it's crazy. It happened in matric in 12th grade. If y'all don't know what matric is, like for all my people overseas watching this, 12th grade, last year in high school. This is last year in high school. I've never smoked before in my life. Okay, I've smoked cigarettes and I've smoked vape. Because I actually started smoking in grade. What grade were we in? I think grade six. The homies would check me for this because they know. Because we started with Twisp, I remember. We started with Twisp and then we moved on to vape. And then, yeah, you know how it goes. So we started at Twisp, said vape, cigarettes, and just keep climbing and climbing. And now we're back to vape again. You know? So, yeah, I remember the day very clearly. And like it wasn't the first time I got high, actually. It's not. That's not I didn't get high off of smoking the first time. First time I got high was off edibles. I remember I got high off space cookies from school from the plug. Shout out to Fresh, by the way. Shout out to him. He had the best space cookies. Like, bro, those things slap harder than Mike Tyson, bro. Those things, bro. I remember because I used to also like eat like gang. I used to buy like at least like six. Like he used to sell them on a Friday. So I would save up all the money I would get, for money to carry to school and shit like that. And I'd save all that up. And then Friday, I know I'm buying at least like five, six of them. So that at school, I can eat like three and then I have for at home because I wasn't a smoker. So I remember first time I got high of edibles, I was so high. But that's not the story I'm telling. The day we smoked, I remember the homies were like, "Yeah, we're going to the park, bro. Not so far. The park was not so far from school. We're going to the park. We're gonna smoke and chill, and then we're gonna walk home." This was after exams, by the way. This was during exams. This was prelims, yeah. So I was like, all right, cool, let me go with these guys. Let me just, give it a try. You know how you are when you're very, inquisitive and you wanna, and you're very interested in things. I was very interested. I wanted to know how it feels like to get high off, a joint off actual weed. So we get to the park, the homies roll up, and I'm just watching this whole thing happening, and I'm like, okay, that's how you roll, and yeah, they spark it up, and you know how it is, rotation. How many guys were there that day? I think there were four or five of us. I'm not sure. Four or five. Yeah, four or five of us. And we were chilling. And, bro, when they passed me that thing, I pulled and I was scared to like inhale. So I would just pull it and blow it out at the same time. So my homie was like, nah, don't do that. Just inhale it, bro. That's how you're gonna get high. So I inhaled it. And then, bro, that's when like how it rushes to your head. And that was some really good weed considering how old we were at the time and the fact that we were still in school, you know? Because now we smoking some real some real Zaza. But yeah, so I smoked that and I just felt so lightheaded. Sorry, I just felt so lightheaded and felt like I was floating. And my mind was at ease and I was just so relaxed. I had no worries in the world. I had no care. I was just, you know, we rolling with the Puellas, you know, listening to good music. And I remember, like, bro, that music was peak. I remember we were listening to, was it Mick Jenkins or Kendrick Lamar? Shout out to both of them. Two amazing artists. Those are two of my favorite artists. And I remember that music was peak. Bro, there was no music better than that in that moment right there. I remember the walk home. I didn't even feel the walk home. I just remember getting home. And even when I got home, I was high, bro. I remember I got home, I showered, I changed, and then I just fell on my bed and then I was out. I was out like a light, bro. And when I woke up, I was good, but still feeling a little foggy and a little tired, you know? But yeah, as an experience, 10 out of 10. And it's one of those stories that you're just never going to forget. You're going to tell your kids when they're older and they also start experimenting because, bro, you can't stop your kids from doing anything. I mean, look at us, bro. Look at our generation. Our parents probably never thought we would be smoking and drinking. Here we are, bro. Here we are. So I prefer speaking to my kids and educating them on these things once they reach a certain age, rather than shutting them out and then them having to go into corners and trying to experiment because you can get seriously hurt because a lot of people lace weed. I remember we also got our weed got laced and then we stopped buying from that plug. I remember our weed was laced and I remember I was so pissed that day. I was like, bro, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck was that, dog? You cannot like that high was just not normal. So yeah, I don't want my kids to go through those things. They should be able to know exactly where to get weed, which is from a dispensary or from a trusted plug that you can actually trust. Somebody who you know is not out here trying to fuck your life up. Not somebody who's gonna put drag or crystal in your shit and then you going crazy, bro. Because I hear stories. Hear stories of people getting laced weed and then they get highs for days and and I get scared for them. It's like I fear for my kids. That's why I'm saying like having kids, not just that responsibility, it's the fact that I just don't want to bring them into the world that we're in right now. This world is just not it, bro. Like there's so many issues that we still have to tackle as human beings and as a nation. Because a lot of people with this whole thing of yeah, this country, that country, this country's problem, that country's problem. I feel like we need to stop that because we're all the same, bro. We're all human beings. We're all descendants of I don't know, what can I say? Because not everyone is in the same religion. That's the thing. So, but like you get what I'm saying. We're all equal. We're all the same. So we all need to come together to try and make the world better. But that's not gonna happen because obviously you have selfish people, you have corrupt politicians, corrupt governments, presidents who just are not doing anything in the best interest of their people. I mean, take for example here in South Africa, bro. There's so much going on. I just don't want to bring my kids into a life like this. Unless I really like make it big, big, and I move somewhere far and somewhere better, and then maybe I'll consider it. Yeah, that responsibility is just it weighs on you forever because I've seen it with my parents as well. They really think and wonder and worry for us. It's like, oh, my son, he's growing up, so he needs to start thinking and start preparing his life and start preparing himself to be like, a man. So yeah, that's just a huge responsibility on your shoulders. Way too huge. Way too huge, bro. I just don't want that kind of responsibility, that kind of stress, that kind of worry. Because you also have to worry about their safety. Like I said, like 24/7, it's their safety. School, lifestyle, entertainment. Kids of today want to do everything, bro. No matter what their parents have to go through because you got to think parents have to jump through all of these different hoops for them to give you the life that you live right now. You know, they have to go to work and get money so they can pay for your school fees, so they can pay for the food that you eat, the clothes on your back, the roof over your head, for you to be able to go out with your friends once in a while. All of those fun little trips that you go on with your friends. That money doesn't fall off trees, bro. I realized that, and then that's why I don't even stress my parents anymore that much when it comes to money. Like, I hate calling for money. I hate asking for money. I'd rather work for it and get it myself, or come up with something to make money. Because No, I've seen with my own eyes what it does to some people and what it does to some families. You know, parents and kids argue and they fight and they never speak to each other ever again. They don't speak to each other, bro. It's like we can live in the same home, but we won't talk because I'm mad at you because you didn't get this from me. You didn't do that for me. When you don't realize that they're already doing so much for you. That's why I say appreciate your parents while you still have them because you never know when you're going to lose them. There's this amazing saying that heaven is under the feet of your mother. So love your mothers, take care of your mothers, even your fathers, because they do the most. Obviously, I'm talking about your present father, not these absent fathers. You know, yeah, both parents, they just do the most in making sure that you're good and you grow up in a decent home and you grow up to be a good person with values and morals and respect, you know. So, yeah, but moving on from that, that's it for me. That's all I wanted to touch on today on today's episode. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And please like, subscribe, show some love in the comments, and share this with your friends. Please, like, share this with your friends' friends, and everybody else. Let everybody know about this podcast, Plug Talk with Fuego. And I got so much more on the road for y'all. And peace, man.